To the U.S. For the next reports, there has been a steady decline in the number of AM radio stations in the United States. And over the decades, urban and mainstream broadcasters have moved to the FM band, which is better audio fidelity, although more limited range. Now, there is a new threat to the remaining AM stations. VOA's chief national correspondent, Steve Herman, in the state of Texas, has been tuning in to some traditional rural stations, as well as those broadcasting in languages other than English in the big cities.
Radio is more fun.
Nancy and Todd Whalen, the owners of KDHN AM 1470 in Dimmitt, Texas.
That head bump on Sunday has still got you confused.
The Whalens are the entire staff.
More than 80 million
selling commercials that provide all the revenue,
news, traffic, weather, sports, and a community connection.
And removing the occasional rat electrocuted by the station's 500-watt transmitter.
We came here to Dimmitt and told people that we wanted to give Dimmitt something to be proud of. And we feel like what we've done and what we continue to do is to provide that not just for Dimmitt, but for all the small towns in this area that no longer have local radio stations.
Recently, some auto manufacturers announced plans to stop including AM radios in new vehicles, contending electric motor systems cause interference to reception, making stations unlistenable and thus the AM band obsolete. Broadcasters and lawmakers such as Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota want to require that AM receivers will continue to be installed in all new cars and trucks sold in America.
I don't think that they understand how important AM radio is to people today.
People like grain silo manager Rodney Hunter. He says news about corn, cotton, wheat, and cattle are critical in KDHN's 160-kilometer radius listening area.
I've had at least 3 farmers that called in today and said they heard on the radio that the markets are up, and without AM radio, that would not be possible.
A 5-hour drive southeast finds Joanne Wong in Carrollton, tuned into another AM station. She's not a farmer, but a pharmacist, listening to Korean language KKDA AM 730.
And then you can get all the information and the highlights and even like K-pop.
Station president Stephanie Min Kim says no AM radios in new cars would imperil ethnic broadcasters who cannot afford the limited and more lucrative FM licenses.
More than 40% of radio listening is done in the car. So I think AM radio is facing the potentially existential threat.
That existential threat also affects another Dallas area station, KHSE AM Radio Caravan.
You're listening to Radio Caravan. Thank you so much.
The multilingual station primarily plays South Asian music. Station manager Vaibhav Shet says AM stations are a critical link in the nationwide emergency alert system.
Those sirens go off and your regular programming is interrupted, and when there's an emergency, whether it's a tornado warning, whether it's a child abduction, whatever it is that's happening, it goes to the AM frequency.
KHSE Wiley 700 AM.
Unlike FM band signals, which physics limit to line-of-sight reception, the lower frequency AM signals bounce off the ionosphere at night, giving them a range of hundreds of kilometers. Steve Herman, VOA News, in Texas.